The mishandling of Taskmaster in the MCU should be studied, dissected, and never repeated. But anyway, in a post on Instagram, you write,
I liked that tattooed crazy guy, right? Like I like the muscles like that to me I thought like if there's any Joker that's going to take on, Batfleck right now, it's going to be some like muscle bound, like crazy person, right? So there's certain elements that I took and I steered it in a different direction.
You have managed to take a character that wasn't widely well received, and it's so widely well received for you, and it's just, it's impressive. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Projekt Podcast. Yes! Yeet as well. Let's take a sip from our Run It Up mugs. Yes, love it. Love it. It's feeling good. It's tasting good. It's water in my cup, or is it? No, it actually is. I don't even drink. So I don't even drink, or do I? No, I'm just kidding. I actually don't. It's just water. It's always water in here. And if you want to get one of these mugs that make everything, by the way, anything that you put inside these mugs, anything that is specifically these 3 mugs that you see on the table, or any of the other mugs available on the Side Projekt merch store right now via sideprojectpodcast.com. Anything that you put in these mugs, it makes it taste better. It does. I swear. Ask anybody that's got them. There's tons of people out there that got the mugs. I think the mugs might be the best-selling, one of the best-selling things that we've got on the merch store. But ask anybody that has any of the Side Projekt mugs. They put coffee in it. Maybe they put an energy drink. I don't know who's doing that, but maybe they do. Maybe because you want to feel sophisticated when you're drinking your energy drink. Plus, I mean, if you're sipping it out of a Run It Up mug, it's kind of like energy, run it up, run it, energy, run it up, you know what I mean? It works both ways, but it always tastes better when you've got it in a Run It Up mug, in a Projekt Things mug, or in a Projekt Park mug, available on the Side Projekt merch store right now via sideprojectpodcast.com, and available in white, available in black, and all kinds of different colors, as well as everything else we got up there, like the Projekt Things tee that I'm rocking right now. That's in a tee, that's in a hoodie as well. Did I put it on a tank? I don't know. You tell me. Go to the Side Projekt merch store and check it out. Everything else that's available that you see me rocking on the show is available on the merch store as well. Aside from this today, I'm rocking my Super X, I believe it's called, right? My Super X Assassin's Creed tracksuit. I think that's what it's called. I think it's a tracksuit. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the bread and the butter of this week's episode, because my guest this week is a cosplayer that has been making waves in the community with likely one of his most standout cosplays, and that is his Joker, a Jared Leto Joker at that, a Joker that might be more so frowned upon in film, but revived and very well received with his iteration within the cosplay community, from DC to Marvel to gaming and more, with his phenomenal Edward Kenway of Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, from the sands of the beach to the ships of the ocean to the dive into hay. A true assassin by the way of the Creed. Kano from Mortal Kombat. Ryu from Street Fighter. He's just dropped his amazing Taskmaster, amongst more. And let us not forget his amazing variations of Eminem cosplays. That's right, Eminem, a former podcaster. That's how we met and forged a lasting relationship. And maybe he'll podcast again someday to full-fledged diving into cosplay. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a very long time coming. Let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to Convincible Cosplay.
Woo, hell yeah, dude. So happy to be here.
Finally,
this is
right?
Awesome. Yeah, dude.
Finally,
dude. Long time coming is, I don't think, the word for it, right?
Yeah. It's beyond that, dude. It's beyond that, man. It's crazy. Dude. You saw when I made you the cosplay of the week, and I mentioned it. I don't remember if I cut it out of the edited version for Instagram. I can't recall, but I said that I didn't want to make you the cosplay of the week or have you on the show like too soon when you started cosplaying more, because people would be like, well, of course, you know what I mean? Because they're friends, so of course he gets special treatment. Yeah. So I waited for a really long time so nobody could ever say that. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate that, though. It gave me time to kind of build up to this.
Did.
So this is great. Yeah, I like it, man.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it actually did, because you popped out with so many cosplays in such a short amount of time. Because I mean, maybe we'll get into it more later in the episode too. But just going off script real quick, like you had cosplayed before, like a long time ago, and then you started doing like podcasting, right? And then the podcasting thing you put on like hiatus, and then you went full-fledged into cosplay. That's kind of like a summary of your timeline, right?
Yeah, and just briefly, like I had been, I guess, cosplaying for years. I just I never fully dove into it. It was like a once a year thing for me. It was like, oh, we're going to Comic-Con, let's do a cosplay up, right? Yeah. And then we were doing the podcast for a while, and then we started going to Comic-Con and starting doing more like interviewing at like like Fan Expo and things like that. And then just we could probably get into it later, but the podcast just kind of like life caught up, and we moved on, and I quit my job and then dove head first into spending money,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you had, the podcast was the Falcon Pod, and there was two of you, technically three of you. It started with two of you, right? And then it was three, technically, with Nikki producing and helping out behind the scenes and stuff. And then she kind of was on camera in the later days.
Towards the end, right? Yeah. That's where it was getting better. But then we just, went through kind of a transition with work where a new owner bought, and we just kind of like, we kind of were like, we can't keep doing what we've been doing. We're naughty. We have to slow it down.
The podcast was very comedic, and I don't know if vulgar would be the right word. I guess at times vulgar. Cause I mean, mine used to be really vulgar too. Like, especially back in the day when I had Juice. I don't know. You remember Juicebox? Yeah. Yeah. Like we were pretty vulgar. We kind of had what was it called? What's the Hollywood term for it? Like the funny man and the straight guy kind of like dynamic going on, where I was like absolutely insane, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he was always like, God, doing like that kind of thing, and you guys kind of had that too. Maybe not so much the funny man and the straight man dynamic, but very comedic and very non-filtered, I guess you could say. Maybe not so much vulgar, but non-filtered. You know what I mean?
No. Scott was very much like on point with stuff. He kind of led the episodes. Mm-hmm. Then he very much kept us on task, and he wrote his jokes, as to where I would come in and just be the goofy guy, just
improv it more.
Yeah, like talking. Yeah, improving what was going on. Like, the whole running joke was like, I never really researched anything. I just said whatever about things. So, dude. Yeah,
no, I always said it, man. We kind of started podcasting around the same time, and I don't know if anybody even gives a about this. We're just kind of going off script and talking about it because I'm just a fan of like podcasters and podcasting and behind the scenes stuff. And I always gave you guys. So I guess we'll wrap it up because people probably want to hear about your cosplays. But I always gave you guys props, man. We kind of started around the same time, I think, and I always gave you guys your props, and we always supported each other from day one, all of us. Even back when I had Juice and everything. And I always thought you guys were great, dude. And I always thought you guys deserved more. And just as a fan of, podcasting, and then I was on your show as well. And I always said that I hope that you guys one day worked it out, figured it out, and made a comeback and maybe figured out what it is and how you wanted to approach it this time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even more so now that you kind of have a following in the cosplay community. So you have people that would likely follow you over to see what you're doing outside of just cosplay. Yeah. You know what I mean? So,
or I might lose people when they start seeing how I really talk.
It's hilarious, man. Yeah,
but no, we've talked about coming back, but it's a slow, steady progress, and I don't know. I'm not even sure if we're going to, but we've definitely been talking about it. So
yeah, that'd be cool. I would support you, man. You know what I mean? I would support you. I would promote the hell out of it for you guys. I always enjoyed it. Let's get into cosplay though, man. One of my personal favorites of yours, and one that I think is an absolute standout of yours within cosplay, is your Jared Leto Joker. With a twist. You do an amazing job with this, to where it's almost like it's erased the image in my mind of the iteration being attached to Jared Leto, and now I just have like an image of you. Like when I think of this version, like you have variations of this Joker that you do as well. You keep it fresh and alive over time. The clothing choices are just like chef's kiss. The green jacket with the purple undershirt and pants, flashy with the gold watch and the rings, all the tattoos, the inverse with the long purple coat, the silver coat with the red undershirt. Sometimes it's no shirt. Sometimes the hair even changes from like a mohawk to a little bit of like combing and whatnot and more. And you've taken this iteration, you've improved upon it, developed it further, breathed life into it, and like made it your own, and it's impressive. And I think the obvious question to open up with here is, when you have a character like this Joker, where it wasn't too widely well received in film at the time, what engulfed you to say, I'm going to take this lesser loved variation of an iconic character, and I'm going to do what I want with it, take it on a run with my vision? Like, what prompted you to do this Jared Leto Joker in the first place?
My first ever Joker I did was just kind of like an improv of what I thought of the character, and it was like my own like punk rock style, and like I call it the metal Joker, right? So
nice.
I just painted the face and did the mohawk, and then it wasn't until I really started getting into cosplay, and I thought, I was always like, it'd be really cool to like dive deeper down this character, right? And I think that Jared Leto's Joker was always, you know, cast out, right? No one liked it, but for me, I was like the tattoos, like the energy, the vibe of him. I was like, there can be so much more to that, and I've always been the one to go against the grain with things, and like I'm like, so I just dove into it. I was like, let's just try it. And I think the other thing was too for me was makeup. I don't have to do a lot. I had to do, you know, enough, but it was my own skin tone in a way too. Like, so I didn't have to do a lot for it. And all I had to do was fancy myself up. And the first time I ever fully put that on was at, it was at Cosplay World. When I went down and I went to the after party, and dude, I got to tell you, like, just feeling that energy as I was walking down the streets of Richmond, Virginia, and just getting nobody else, like the Joker's walking down. It felt so good. And I was like, yo, people do like this guy. Like, people do like this character. And it's just that, I don't know, that more like hip hop gangster feel. So that's the direction I started going with it, you know? So yeah, dude.
There is like something about it, I will say, like seeing it walk down the street, like how you described, and then like the style that Joker is, it fits at like parties and clubs and like bars even, or something, you know what I mean? And like that, like nightlife, I guess you could say, like it fits that theme, and it's crazy looking to see it. And you pull it off so well. There's something about just your character, I think, like your body type, like everything, weird things, because I'm a weirdo, like your head shape. Like I noticed, like it fits perfectly. Like it works, dude. I don't know what it is, but it works. And you kind of have like a storyline of sorts going on with this character. I mean, even you and I, we collabed with my Black Mask, and we kind of had a little storyline going on, but you have like a character to the character, if you will, like an aliveness, if you will. It feels real in a way. It's weird. And like the suit changes, the hair changes. I feel like we're seeing a character living out life over time. And in your mind, for yourself, what elements of the Jared Leto Joker from the films did you, or do you feel like you've kept for your cosplay iteration, like in your mind, because you're doing your own thing with it, but like, are you paying homage and then taking it in the direction that you would have liked to see? Are you building upon what was already there? Do you feel like you removed any elements in your mind? Like, what are things that you liked about this iteration versus things that you disliked? Like, what are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I think I liked that tattooed, like crazy guy, right? Like I like the muscles, like that, you know, to me, I thought like if there's any Joker that's going to take on, you know, Batfleck right now, it's going to be some like muscle bound, like crazy person. Right. So I think that like, I've always just liked that, because I think that is who I am for like sort of who I am. And like at the heart is like, you know, I work out, I train, you know, I'm, you know, I love tattoos. So for me, it was like that. I think that there's certain elements that I took and I steered it in a different direction. I think that his character always gave off very forgive me for saying, but vibes.
Like, yeah, no, I get what you mean.
He was very like it was so cringe and like weird. And I took that and I took it into a different approach of more of like this cocky, arrogant, like bruiser type Joker. And I went like, that's more who I want to be. Is like, there's something deeper, like, you know, we can talk about like depression and things like that all day, but like for me, there's deeper things that are connected to that. Like when I'm taking my serious pictures and I'm being more serious in those pictures, there's something that like, there's a eerie craziness that is me behind that. And it's like weird and like dark to think about, but like, I just wanted to embody this character so much. And the more that I kept doing it, the more I'm like, I am this character. Yeah. This is me. And again, like we said, I wanted to pay homage, but at the same time, take this further than Jared Leto even got to do, or even that they, you know, they didn't write him in as well as I think. Yeah. And it's a cool concept. So I always said like, it's cool. He was a cool concept, but like terrible writing and like terrible direction of the character, and not enough was given. And so I think that they could have done more. And I think that that's what I'm trying to do, is do more to that character. So.
Yeah, and you're pulling it off. It also has this very like mob boss type feel as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the character in the film did too, but like even yours with the different clothing choices and the way that you have it going on, the collaboration that we did. Shout out to Pixel Lens. You know, one of the shots that we have, like you have for Black Mask, the False Face Society, which is like his crew in the background in case nobody noticed those details. And then on your side with the Joker, you have like the clowns and like your crew and everything. And I always looked at that kind of like as, you know, both sides, both mobs, like this world that we created in our mind with your Joker is kind of like a almost parallel with Black Mask as far as a little bit more still the Joker, psychotic, all that Joker stuff, but maybe a little bit more mob bossy as well, is the way I always looked at it in my mind when we were creating those edits and everything. Again, shout out to Pixel for bringing it to life. And then you have these shots with you and Brad, man, previous guest and Cosplay of the Week as well. There's one shot specifically I'm looking at right now. Who did the I have it right? Ghost Shoots, that's who I thought did the shot where you're face to face and you're screaming at him. Like your mouth is open, you know what I mean? Like, God,
my favorite
dude,
shot.
like,
I love that shot.
Yeah, amazing, dude. Just absolutely amazing. And then all the shots from Ghost Shoots as well. You know, from standing up in all the purple with the hand over, you know, with the tattoo, and then to the one with that I featured as a Cosplay of the Week with the lobby or the hotel room or whatever it was. Where did you guys shoot that one? You know which one I'm talking about?
That was I think that was just in the Hilton. There was like
in the lobby or something.
So it was it was like Columbus or whatever for GalaxyCon, and it was in like the lobby of the Hilton. And I just walked in. I was like, this lighting has to be perfect. And Ghost was like, yeah, sit down right here. And we just made it work. It was just like in the moment. So
yeah, I know exactly what you mean. When I was when we were in Richmond for Cosplay World last year, I think it was last year. Yeah, when I did, you know, the Back Chronicles stuff that I did with Brad and Jason and Ray and everybody. That was the same thing. We went out for a night to go shoot, and we were all chilling in the lobby. And I was like looking around, and I was like, This is perfect. Like actually right here, like just in the lobby is perfect. We could like make a whole like storyline, and we thought of everything right there. So kudos to you and kudos to Ghost and everything for like capturing those. I know exactly what that is, like that moment where you're just like, this is perfect. This is it. Those shots came out amazing, dude. And the one where you're screaming at him and everything. And then there's a couple different ones with like your shirt off and stuff too, where you can see the tattoos. And I got to ask you about the makeup and tattoos. You kind of mentioned it, but you were telling me in the past that it does take a while and everything, but you also said a moment ago that it's not too much that you have to do with the white and everything. So I got a couple questions when it comes to like the application of the tattoos. One, how do you do the tattoos? Because I know with my Reptile that I do for Mortal Kombat, I have tattoos for Reptile. Some people thought those are my real tattoos. I'm like, no, I don't have those. Like, I don't have actual like Reptile tattoos, but I know for me, I've done them a few different ways. There's so many different tats that your Joker has, and with my Reptile, it's just like one big application right here, but you have like several different things in several different places. So like, how do you do those? Are they like the water press-on type to make it easier for yourself? And then secondly, the makeup, the white makeup, you said you didn't have to do too much, but how do you apply it like when you're alone? Like if you apply it to your body, or if you have to do it to your back, if you do it to your back?
Well, first of all, the tattoos are just like press-on tattoos you can get from Amazon or whatever, and I just buy a load of those. Like I literally have stockpile of those.
Yeah, okay, I've done the same.
I'm getting better at like learning how to do it and stuff like that, and what the placement is, and I'm really trying to like there's lots of variations of where my placement is of my tattoos. Like if you look back at some other pictures, you might not be able to tell, but there's like some tattoos, like the ones with Brad, I have like the Batman thing on my neck, and then on the other side it says smile. And on other ones I don't have those, and depending on the placement, right? So I'm trying to figure out, I want to keep those tattoos in the same spot going forward. Yeah. But I do like the variety, especially if I change costumes, like the variety of how it's always going to be different, even though it's the same. Yeah. So those are pretty easy. Those are I do those after all makeup and stuff is done. Yeah. When it comes to like the white makeup and stuff, I just used I have like a palette. I don't know what it's called. I'm just getting into makeup stuff, but
I don't know too much either. It's like the little palette thing, right? Yeah.
Well, no. So for the base layer, I use like I think it's almost called it's like porcelain. It's like a porcelain skin tone, and then I just mix a little bit of white primer with it. That's like a makeup thing, like a foundation, and I just mix it just enough that it makes me look pale rather than white. Okay. So, and then I just so really I just apply that all over my face. That doesn't take too much time. I do my ears, I do my neck into the back of my neck, sort of down around my chest area, but I'm pale enough that like it kind of blends in by the time it gets down below my collar, you know? Yeah. But I'm like red. I'm like a redneck from here up, right? So so I do that enough to that. I don't do my back. I don't do any tattoos on my back. You're never really going to see me from the behind, but I did notice that he does have those tattoos on his back when you see other pictures. However, I'm already tatted up on the back. You probably, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I have tattoos all over my back anyway. But yeah, dude, it's pretty simple process. I think the hardest part is I also apply those stick-on tattoos or those press-on tattoos after makeup. Mm-hmm. So once I'm fully dry, then I do the damaged across the forehead and then the J on the eye. And those I have to be very, very careful when putting on and peeling off because it's not sticking to my skin anymore. It's sticking to the makeup. And sometimes I have to go back in and press it on and add some water and then maybe a little bit of makeup to fix it. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how I do it. Obviously, I shave the face for the most part, but
yeah. Interesting, man. Yeah, this is, like I said, man, earlier, this is one of my favorite of all time of yours, next to probably your Edward Kenway, just because I'm biased because I love Assassin's Creed. And then your Taskmaster is also one of my standouts right now because you just dropped it, which we'll talk about later, hopefully, if we have time. But I just love everything you're doing with this. There's like another shot from Gabe_BNY where I don't know where you're at. It looks like maybe a bar. And you've got like the white button-up shirt kind of open with the tie, it looks like, I think, hanging down, and then like with a drink right there and everything. Just like the cinematic that you're creating with this character.
I'm trying, dude.
It's amazing, dude. And again, for a character that really wasn't widely well received in the films in comparison to other Jokers, you have managed to take a character that wasn't widely well received, and it's so widely well received for you, you know? And it's just, it's impressive, you know? And I know it's cosplay, we're just having fun, but like you're really doing something with it that for me, I guess as a creative, like looking at it from the eyes of the lens, like, cause I'm always behind the lens as well. And just from somebody that gets to shoot people, like, I don't know, man, like I'm really impressed by it. I really dig it. Like I haven't seen anybody take it this route, all the different changes with the clothes. Like I said, it feels like I'm watching the character live out life over time. And it's super interesting, dude. It's super interesting. Man. Yeah.
No, thanks. I never thought that this character would get this much like attention. And then not that I'm craving it, I do it because I love it, you know, but there is something that feels good about it. You know, when I'm creating this character and people are like, yo, you are that. I'm like, that's so cool. And obviously when I hear people say like forget Jared Leto, like you are that Joker. Yeah. And because I steered away from that weird vibe and I went more, who am I? And like, you know, where's my past? Where's my damaged self? And I start bringing it out, you know, I'm a lunatic too, but you know.
How would you rank the Jokers? Like I was gonna say just the ones in film to make it easier, but I mean you could include like the Jokers from the games, like the Arkham franchise, or like you know, a lot of people's favorite Joker happens to be the animated series. And I mean, actually, you don't even have to rank them, but you can just like, who are your standout Jokers for you, like over time? Yeah,
I mean, the Arkham series, and why am I drawing a blank? We know who he is. Mark Hamill. There we go. I don't know why I forgot it. Mark Hamill. Just
Mark
his
Hamill voice. Yeah, his voice.
His voice stands out in my head when I think of the Joker, no matter what. Like his voice is in my head. So like the easy thing to like talk like Jared Leto's Joker is because I have teeth in my mouth, or like a grill, and it's really hard to speak. So it's easier to like be, you know, slur your words. But like anytime I think and I'm speaking as the Joker, I'm just thinking like I'm thinking his voice in my head. You know, just that very theatrical. Like, right? Like just that theatrical mindset. So that's what I think of as the Joker. Like, that's just even from childhood, from the Batman series and stuff like that. But I think that there's only one other Joker that has ever stood out to me. And it was in cartoons. I don't remember which one it was from the animated. It was the one, he had really long hair and he was more like muscular. He had like more of a triangular shape to him.
Oh man, I don't know if I know that one.
Oh my gosh!
Maybe if I
wish
saw
I could find that.
Maybe if I saw an image, it might.
Jog I don't remember what that was from.
Let me see if I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. But that one, like,
it's from the animated series. But is it from the original animated series?
I don't think so.
Wait, is it with green hair or is it with? Oh no, they're both.
He's got green hair, but it's like really long hair.
Yeah, I see it.
He looks more fit. One? Like he looks more like fit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's stronger or something like that. That one always like caught me off guard because I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's the Joker. I was like, that's kind of cool. Like even as like a young kid, I was like, that's kind of cool. Like that's different. That's a different Joker than what we're used to.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, really, like, not to keep talking about it too much, but like with the Jared Leto's Joker, like I just always envisioned Joker like this clown fighting this like big muscular martial artist in a bat suit.
Yeah.
It was always silly to me. Like, even though it's very iconic, but like I was always thinking that the Joker should be exactly like the Batman, but crazy, right? Like he should be crazy, but he should have the same, like he should match him, right? If they are, you know, they're enemies, right? It's his, you know, the exact opposite, you know what I'm saying? Right. Shouldn't they be very on par with each other? Like I always thought like it should just be, the Joker should be this brooding, like very dangerous character, like who could go toe to toe with Batman. And that should be a real threat. And that's why I always thought like, you know, the Joker that I'm doing as Jared Leto, he's going to be a problem. Excuse me, my French, you know, he's going to be a problem. He's going to be somebody you look at and you're like, oh dude, I don't want to mess with that guy. Like he's not only does he look scary, but he's crazy too. Yeah. So I don't know. That's my take on it.
No, I dig it. I dig it, dude. This, like I keep saying, man, I mean, kudos to you for taking something that people, you know, complained about so much. And I don't mean that in like in a bad way to the people that quote unquote complain. I mean, a lot of you were, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you were right with your complaints. Like even you said, like I don't know, man. We're getting into a whole different territory. But if it was Jared's portrayal himself, if it was the writing itself, I mean, I think it's a mixture of a few different things. But even with me, there are things that I liked about that iteration and things that I disliked about that iteration. But when it comes to cosplaying with what you're doing with it, I said it myself, and I agree with how you said other people have told you. Like I kind of have forgotten about Jared Leto, and now I think of this Joker, and I think of you. It's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy,
nice.
Man.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
I want to talk to you about a few more things, but before we do that, let's break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. Oh, and this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than Writer CGA, and I'm throwing it up on the screen right about Jarvis now, and it is of his Iron Man. I believe it's Age of Ultron Iron Man, if I'm not mistaken. And this is insane. This is absolutely insane, dude. From head to toe. I mean, look at everything, dude. I mean, where do we even start? You know what I mean? Like he doesn't have in this photo that I threw up, at least he doesn't have the helmet on, but the whole suit is there. It's flawless. There's nothing wrong with this thing. The thighs and the legs, they're big. They're Iron Man. Like you got the waistline is perfect with the abs going up to the big arc reactor and everything. That's what it's called, right? Am I drawing a blank? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's called an arc reactor. And then the hands. I mean, come on, man. And then what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? The big gun. Come on. It's just gorgeous, dude. It's absolutely amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. And then, you know, the battle damaged across the whole suit, even on his face with the blood and everything. And then I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you can see on the arms right here, right? Like say you got his arm and you go down to like his wrist, you've got the isn't that the torch, right? The flamethrower, right? Isn't that what that is? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what that is. It's phenomenal, dude. And while I'm talking a little bit more about it, I want to throw up another one, and I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now. And this one features previous guest and cosplay of the week. Kira creates cosplay equally phenomenal as well. These photos were by, oh God, I hope I pronounce it right. Is it Trusta Twi'lek? Forgive me if I'm incorrect. Phenomenal. And helmet files are up. There's a lot of credits, you guys, but should I name them? I guess I'll name them. Helmet file by Walsh 3D and Vec 3D. Suit files by do3d.com. Printed with Sunlu _official PLA plus. Motorization by Crashworks 3D. Painted with Dupla Color Auto. Hopefully I'm pronouncing everything correctly. Arc Reactor. There we go. Neon Dot Robotnik. Printed on any Cubic official Cobra Max and is it Creality 3D for the Ender 3? Absolutely phenomenal, dude. Just absolutely amazing. There's nothing. There's no flaws in this. It's flawless, man. And knowing Kira and talking to Kira about creating Iron Man suits and everything, I know a little bit about it from that episode. Don't remember what number that episode is right now. Sorry, Kira, I can't plug it, but obviously you just go and you can look it up. Side Project and Kira were there. So I learned a little bit about the creation process of creating some Iron Man suits, but I'm sure everybody does certain things differently here and there. So Ryder, of course, in the future, I welcome you on the show. Let's talk about how you created this stuff. We'll let some time go by between the cosplay of the week here now and having you on in the future. But definitely welcome you on at some point in time. In case you're just watching this on Instagram as a clip and you didn't tune into the full episode, we have guest this week, Convincible Cosplay, where we're talking about things like his Joker, his Taskmaster, and whatever else we end up talking about by the time this episode ends. Go check that out in the full episode on YouTube and or Spotify if you haven't. Convincible Cosplay. Vince, do you have anything that you'd like to add before we wrap this segment up?
Yeah, I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, I feel like every single time I see an Iron Man like cosplay suit, it's amazing. It blows me away, especially the work that goes into it. Like, I know that takes a while. I know that takes some time. I know that stresses people the hell out. Like, I know that for sure. The lighting on it, I don't know if that's done with effects or if his hands are actually glowing, or like I feel like the art director is probably glowing for sure.
They probably glow, but I wonder if there's a little bit of editing to enhance it for the photo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. But that looks, I mean, it looks so great. It would be even better if that machine gun on his shoulder like could actually spin and go.
I wonder motorization. Spinning, yeah,
right? That'd be sick. No, but it looks great. And we were just talking about before this, like I've liked some of his pictures and stuff before, but I guess I wasn't following him, and I didn't want to go and follow yet.
Yeah, give it away.
I'm definitely gonna go follow him. I'm gonna go follow him. I'm gonna spam like all of his pictures because this is phenomenal, and I think he deserves he deserves credit for all this stuff. It looks great. I love it.
Yeah, 100%, man. Writer CGA, spelled exactly how it sounds on Instagram. If you're not following him, please go follow him right now, because Writer CGA, your Iron Man cosplay of the week for me and Convincible Cosplay is amazing. Phenomenal, dude. And shout out to Kira, man. Shout out to Kira Creates. Equally phenomenal. Didn't mention that a moment ago, but obviously Kira's been on the show and he's been a cosplay of the week before, so obviously you guys know. Before we can continue talking to you more about some of your cosplays and everything, I want to get into a segment that I like to call Shotgun Questions. And what Shotgun Questions is a little bit more of a rapid fire segment that never ends up being that rapid fire, and that's okay. That's the irony of it. We always end up having a conversation about it, but it's a series of 3 to 4 questions that I don't know why I keep saying that, because it's been 3 for like episodes upon episodes, and it's been stuck with 3 for quite a long time. It's a series of questions that are all just fun and games, nothing serious, so there's nothing to be worried about. Guests are not prepped ahead of time for these, but they go in blind. Unless you watch the show regularly, then you may know some of the questions that are coming your way. So let's see how much fun we can have when I ask you. Detailed logistics aside, you have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. This could be a team that is comprised of superheroes or villains across the Marvel Universe, DC, any other comic-based company. It could also be mixed with gaming characters or any other forms of pop culture. You have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. Who are your 6?
Dang, you gave me 6. It's funny, I was actually thinking about this. I was really thinking about this, and it's really hard, and I don't even think I need 6.
Okay. You're only the second person to say they don't need 6. Let's see.
And I'm going to be brave here and say at least my top go-to. He's sitting right behind you, right above the side project logo. But Spawn is number 1 for me.
Wow, nice.
Spawn was probably one of my first characters I ever fell in love with, just the idea of that, just that dark grittiness. Spawn alone, I think, is he's got the powers we need, right?
Dude.
I think if you bring Spawn, you got to bring Batman. I feel like Batman's another go-to. He's got the intelligence. He's got that. They've been in comics together. I have quite a few of those comics actually. Exactly. So I think that would be good. Does it count if I'm still in the same world right now? I feel like they're all piling on, but the next thing that pops in my head, and this might be what is this? This might be 4, 5, and 6, or no, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But the Ninja Turtles, does that count? Can I bring the Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, how many turtles are there again?
There's 4 turtles, and then I already got my my other 2,
3, 4, 5. Yeah, you're good. All right. If we do math, someone's gonna be like, "What the hell? These guys can't do math."
Yeah, no, I can't do math for sure. But
I'm horrible.
So that was kind of I was thinking about this, and I don't know, it's just my childhood popped into my head, and I was cool. I have to.
That's so cool. And they've all collaborated, I believe. Or I don't know if the Turtles and Spawn has collaborated, but Batman and the Turtles.
And Batman for sure.
And Spawn and Batman, yeah. That's crazy. That's I like that, dude. Yeah. I dig that. Speaking of Batman, out of these Batmen, you've got Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. You can only choose one, and the rest and their universe cease to exist. Who do you pick?
I always hate this question.
I know so many people do.
So, okay, little, not even a sidebar, but my dad passed when I was really young, but my dad, not to mourn or anything, but my dad actually had a full-on Michael Keaton Batman suit, and he used to film I found these later, after he passed, but he used to film like Batman stunt things in like the backyard with the full suit on, and used to film these.
That's crazy.
So for me, Keaton's Batman.
Nice.
He's been Batman to me. And when I envision Batman, it's always just black suit, yellow symbol. Like, even though I know, like, I like the dark gritty stuff now, but like for me, Keaton's Batman, it was, that's it.
It's that childhood callback too. You know what I mean? It's what we grew up
anytime
on.
you ask these questions, I'm gonna be diving into my childhood and exposing my age to everybody.
Same. If you could time travel to any period, any era, where would you go and why? And you can have up to 3 different choices if you need them.
So I've heard a lot about this one, right? Yeah. And everybody wants to go to a place where people are, but I want to go and really get to see what was it like when there was no people. So I'm going dinosaurs, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I'll probably die.
Yeah.
But like, I want to know, like, is it like, what did they really look like?
Yes.
Like, did they actually have feathers? Were they like Jurassic Park?
Oh, thank you for saying that. Because real quick, if I may interject, we don't know. Like, I know people say like, no, we definitely do. I've had conversations and even like almost arguments or debates, if you will. But there's some people that have gotten like upset about it. I'm like, we don't know. They could have all had feathers, every single one. Like, we don't know what's going on. I don't know if you guys know, people know, but the majority, I think like 90%, if not almost everything, scientists are just guessing. Because you could even look at bones of people, right? And you don't really truly know what that person 100% looked like, weight and this and that. You're guessing when you look at bones to a certain extent. I'm not an archaeologist, I'm not a scientist or anything, but I have common sense, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so like when you're looking at certain dinosaurs and you're looking at things, like you can only tell so much just from the bones, you know what I mean? So that's why they do say that they believe that, for instance, like even the T-Rex probably had feathers, if not some type of feathers, some kind of feathers, a little bit of feathers of like some sort, some fur or something. Yeah. And as opposed to looking just more like an alligator or something. You know what I mean? So I like that you brought that up, because I've had that conversation with so many people who are, I don't want to make it look, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but I guess misinformed maybe, or just not aware that this has been a conversation in the science world, that they're kind of guessing to what a lot of these things looked like, you know? So anyway.
I would love to go back and see that, again, maybe I won't survive the encounter, but I'd like to see, because watching, I actually literally got into an argument with this about somebody with somebody the other day too. That's why I brought it up, because it was like, we don't really know. Yeah. Like, we don't really know. Like, you watch a documentary, it's like 100 bajillion years ago, this is what the earth looked like. No,
you don't know. You're guessing. You're
about?
Basing it off of some educated, information. But at the end of the day, that equals an educated guess. Yeah. You know what I mean? To the best of your ability.
I want to be like Turok. Remember that game, Turok?
Yes, dude, Turok.
Yeah, dude. Fighting dinosaurs.
Yeah, man. Sick. Hell yeah. So that's one. You got any other ones, or are you just going with one?
Honestly, that's the only other one. I mean, the other thing that I always love, like, we go back to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I love like the Caribbean and things like that. And I like that idea of those older, the 18, was it 17 or is that even 16? I don't even know.
I think it might be 16, 17. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I like the freedom that feels like, of like those pirate days, of like just the freedom of the open ocean, even though like I'm terrified of what's under the ocean, but I love being at the ocean. I love it. But like, just that freedom of doing whatever you want. Like true freedom. That's the Assassin's Creed in me, right? True freedom of being able to do whatever, So I
agree. That's awesome, dude. Well, that was shotgun questions. Wow. Awesome questions there, man. Awesome answers. We got to talk about your Taskmaster, dude. I wanted to talk about your Edward Kenway a bit, because I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, obviously. But you just dropped your Taskmaster, and we got to talk about it. I love the fact that this thing is like pretty damn comic accurate, dude. It's muscular. It's got the colors going. It's got the white boots, the white hood, the cape, the sword, the shield, a better mask than anything that the MCU has done. That's right. Shots fired. The mishandling of Taskmaster in the MCU should be studied, dissected, and never repeated. But anyway, in a post on Instagram, you write, I love this costume as a whole. The piece I love most is the shield. It took me a while to commit to the design and even how to do it, but I'm happy with how it turned out. So what is it about the design that you state took you a while to commit to? Are you talking about just the design of the shield specifically, or was it Taskmaster as a whole, such as like maybe what version of Taskmaster you wanted to do, or like what colors you wanted to incorporate? Like, how come you say it took you a while to commit?
Yeah. So when I, like with most of my cosplays and stuff like that, I'm kind of like I don't know, like a scavenger. So like, I don't really make a lot of the things that I have. I tailor the things that I get. So the shield was actually just like a legit ballistic shield from like Amazon, or I think it was like eBay or something like that. And it was like it's like for airsoft and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So I got that, and then it was perfect, exactly what I wanted. It fit pretty good. But when I did the design, I was like really trying to think about how was I going to put this T on here? How was I going to do the logo? Because I had already made the belt logo for my Taskmaster, and I was going very comic book looking. So I'd already made the belt, and I made that out of just like wood scraps. Like I found some like wood circles, and I just cut it and painted it and made it look good. Then I was like, how do I replicate that onto this shield? That like I don't know. I've painted things before, but I don't really know how to like tape things correctly to make it look good. So it took me a while. I like taped the edges. Actually, I painted it all like the gunmetal gray that I was going for. And I don't remember. I think the outside is like that gunmetal gray on the outside.
Yeah, the
right.
outer
So
rim,
I painted it all that color first, and I knew I wanted the black in the center. But I'm like, man, how am I really going to get this red on there? Because I wanted to go red mainly because I was thinking Taskmaster more my style, so it was like red. Yeah. I got the white and the blue. America, I guess I didn't mean to, but
I didn't think about that. I actually didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right.
So I'm like, how can I get that on there correct? So I eventually just kept playing around with it, and I even actually messed it up one time, and I redid the whole thing. And then I just it was a matter of weeks. I just took time taping it, looking at it the next day, turning it upside down, doing like the artist look where you look at it in a different way. What's crooked? Took me a while, and then I finally was like, all right, here we go. And I started spraying it. And once it was done, I was like, this is exactly what I wanted. Yeah. There's a couple areas where I did some damage to it, and it was mainly because the paint overspray messed it up. So I just scratched it out and made it look the way I want. And I looked at it and just thought, this is perfect. This is, not perfect, but it's exactly the way I envisioned. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing. I dig it so much, dude. It's like super comic accurate. There's even a video here by the cosplaytographer, and hold on, I'm watching it right now. Yeah, where you it's like for kind of going up for the side from the back, and then you turn around and you pull out the gun and then the sword and the shield. Like, I mean, it looks so good on camera too, not even just in photos and like stills. You know what I mean? Like, it's very well done, man. I really dig it. Did you have like any other Taskmaster designs specifically that you wanted to incorporate before you landed on like what we see now? Whether that be like from comics, statue inspiration, the games, or the film even. Like, did you always know you kind of wanted to lean more towards just like a more so comic accurate rendition?
No, like I didn't even really know what I was going to do with Taskmaster. I had got my hands on like a foam muscle suit. I was looking for a muscle suit for a while, and I got my hands on it, and I was like, what am I really going to do with this? I was like, I know it's going to come into play soon. And then when I looked at it, I put it on. All I thought was Taskmaster. I'm like,
nice.
Like this
so you didn't know you were going to do Taskmaster until you got the muscle suit.
No, I had no clue. I actually was getting the muscle suit for Homelander, but when I bought it, it was too big, and I'm like, this is ridiculously big. But when I put it on, I just looked in the mirror. I was like, I don't know why this screams Taskmaster, and then I just started piecing it together from there. And I just, I kind of based it more off like the Fortnite version, the old comic version. I was really looking for more of a comic. Like a comic book feel, like Tony Masters. Like I didn't want to play around with, like you said, what the MCU did, which they destroyed that character. I get the idea that they went, but for me, Tony Masters is Taskmaster. It's always been that way. So I just started slowly piecing it together, and I think the second thing I bought was actually like the white briefs or like the white trunks, like the underwear. I threw those on, and I was like, yo, I look ridiculous, but it was like perfect. It was like everything I started piecing together with that costume. I'm like, every time I added something new, I was like, I am literally Taskmaster. Like, I mean, I was like, this is perfect. Exactly what I wanted. So so I was just going to say, I've been inspired. I just want to kind of give some people some shout outs. I've been inspired. I think Sentinel, like definitely
100%. Previous guest in Cosplay of the Week. Yeah.
He's definitely like watching his stuff. I love all his iterations of Taskmaster.
Yeah, he's one that even pulls off the movie ones greatly. He does it great, because I'm not a big fan of those designs, but he's one that pulls it off greatly. Just like you pull off your Jared Leto Joker, he actually pulls off those MCU Taskmaster designs greatly.
Yeah, no, he does great. And I remember just being kind of inspired by that and just being like, screw it, I'm going to go for it. And I just like, I'm just going to do it, but I need it to be me. And like with every cosplay I do, I have to have this element that is me in there, or I don't feel like I did it right. Cause I don't want to just completely be this character. I want to make sure that that character becomes me, if that makes sense. Like I need to feel like I am this character. So with the color schemes and everything, I think it worked. Yeah, thank you.
It worked great. I love it, dude. How does it feel? You've worn a cape before, right? With Homelander. Is that the only other cosplay of yours that has a cape? I'm trying to. I'm scrolling through your Instagram right now. I think it is.
I've worn capes for a long time because I used to do my own like superhero that I created a long time ago. His name was Captain Crackdown. So I used to always wear. I made my own superhero, and I used to put on capes and stuff and try to do videos and things like that. It's annoying.
Oh, your gender bend Storm also has like a cape of sorts too.
It's looking at it like right a cardigan.
Is
it's
it
like a cardigan?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then your Rat Boy has a cape as well.
Yeah, that's Eminem. That's
fun. Only reason I ask is because I've heard from some people. I haven't worn a cape for any of my cosplays. Some people have mentioned that for them wearing a cape makes them feel empowered. And I was just it just randomly popped into my mind if you feel empowered when you wear a cape or not.
No, I mean,
is there something there?
When you get the picture right or the film right, there is something majestic and empowering about that.
Yeah.
I also like with Taskmaster, I also I shared a video. I don't know if you saw it, but where I was trying to like look epic, and then the wind just caught the cape the right way, and it flipped up over my head, and I was just standing there. like what is happening right now? And I definitely didn't have it like tied down right. It wasn't attached to armor. It was more so just right around my neck. And the only other pieces that it was attached to, I had magnets on the mask. Only one magnet though. So anytime air even blew in my face, the hood would look like something that I don't want the hood to look like. Those pictures will never air.
That's funny, dude. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, you pull this off flawlessly, dude. I was like really surprised when you dropped it. I was like, damn, dude, this looks so amazing, man. I love it, dude. This is what I want to see because I see a lot of the MCU iterations, and there's nothing wrong with it. People can cosplay whatever they want. But I was really looking forward to like seeing this type of version in the movies, and we never got that. So it's really cool to see somebody bring it to life within cosplay. We are going to get ready to wrap up, dude. But before we do, I want to ask, you have so many cosplays, man, from the different variations of your Eminem cosplays that you bring, from the Fortnite stuff that you do as well. From your Jared Leto Joker that you continuing with, Taskmaster. You got more Jokers that you kind of mentioned that you're going to do in the future. And then that's like, we're barely even scratching the surface, man. I'm sure a lot of people also probably expected me to talk more about Assassin's Creed with you. We didn't get to, Mortal Kombat stuff, probably we didn't get to. There's only so much we could talk about. And I want to leave anybody that may not know a lot about your cosplays to go and actually physically see your cosplays, and maybe they don't follow you. I'm sure they probably do. We got a lot of mutuals, but follow you now if they're not. Plus, you're nice pull too. You fit nice pull so well, dude. Like you fit nice pull so well. That's also one of like my ones that I really exactly, because it's fun, dude. I dig it. But what's the future of cosplay look like for you? Like what are your plans? It's the stuff that you want to talk about. You can keep things a secret, of course. But like, what are your plans? Like, what do you have any goals? Like something that you want to achieve within cosplay? And then we kind of talked about it in the beginning of the episode, but what are your hopes for the future if you have one of podcasting? Like, is that something that you want to get back into as well?
Yeah. So for first question with the cosplay, right? I have some Easter eggs hidden in the background a little bit that you can kind of see, maybe.
Yeah.
So those are coming.
Yeah.
I got more of my little Red Hood Joker down here. I got Shredder coming. You can kind of see the hair right there, but that's my Super Saiyan Trunks wig in the background. Oh,
nice, dude. Yeah.
Some more Final Fantasy stuff. I think for me, I know that people have said this before in the community, like your cosplay doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be accurate.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm a perfectionist. And before I throw on the things that I want to make sure it fits what I want, right? And it has to make me feel good. So any cosplay that I've been working on for a while now it's going to be perfect to me before I put it on. And if it isn't perfect, I will make it better. That's just, for me, it's a part of my, me being an artist. I've been an artist most of my life with music, with just drawing and things like that, and editing videos. I want it to be good for me. And as long as it's perfect for me, I don't really care what anybody else thinks of it. It's my art. It's what I'm choosing to do. So, I'm going to be taking my time on some of those, but I think for that, that's kind kind of where my future is with that.
Nice. Yeah,
I got, I think I want to do more. I would love to have a 3D printer. That would solve a lot of my problems. However, for now, I'm just going to stick with what I like and what I know best. And just, I should probably revisit a lot of my other cosplays that I've been, because you're right. I have been doing so many. Solid Snake's coming. Yeah. That's just something I'm going to make. That one's going to be 10 times better than when I first did it. That's one that I have to focus on. Snake is like a childhood hero for me. So I have to focus on that. But yeah, man, I just like being in costume and having fun. And that's the
100%. Yeah, I agree, man. What about the podcasting side of things? Like we touched on it a little bit, but I mean, is it something that you actually have? I don't know if passion is the right word, but you know what I mean? I guess a passion for. Like, is it something you see yourself committing to, I guess, again?
I mean, it was fun. It was real fun. It was fun to finally get out and like I work with kids. And so for the most part, I have to be a very Disney-fied version of myself. And so being able to like give something that parents could watch and like see that other side of us was great for some parents. And I think that like the hard part was like when we finally got over that hump of like not really giving a what they think about what we're doing. This is what we do on our side. We're still the best people we can be for your kids. We're not meaning a lot of our stuff was jokes too. So I think that like as much as I really enjoyed it, there was a part where it became hard because I there were sides that I was like, I don't know if I should be saying this. Like, I had some second thoughts. And even though I'm all about like saying what you want to do and vocalizing yourself, there were sides that we started to dive into, like political stuff that I was like, I don't know how much I really feel good about this. Like, I don't feel good about what's happening. So I don't know if I want to keep talking about it. So that's why I always went in with no research and I just joked. Yeah. Because I didn't really care about it. So I think with the future, we've talked about it. We actually just recorded a rap. So that's nice. Maybe I'll share that with you at some point. Scott and I actually rapped, and honestly, it's a banger. So hell yeah. So I think that might be something we share at some point. But it's finding the right timing, going through life problems right now, and going through things with trying to figure out things and having a good place to record, and just a place that just feels like it's right. Yeah. It's gonna take some time, but I think eventually maybe. Nice. But who knows?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Well, whatever it is that you end up doing, I look forward to all of it, bro. You already know that, man. I support you with everything that you're doing, and just kudos to what would be. I mean, I know you cosplayed for a long time, and I, we talked about it in the beginning, but this new venture into cosplay, like this recent iteration, just the short amount of time that you have developed so many absolutely amazing cosplays when you like really dove into what it is now, and you've just come out with like a handful of absolutely awesome you know what I mean? Like just absolutely cinematic stuff with Joker, like, and then just going kind of like that comic look and game look for Taskmaster, and then just the accuracy with Edward Kenway as well. And then, God, so many we didn't talk about, man. Mortal Kombat stuff, Street Fighter stuff, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, man. And you're just like a short amount of time popping out with like just more than a handful of cosplays, and just kudos, man. Everybody, if you're not following Vince on Instagram, please go do so at Convincible, cosplay with an underscore in between the words. It's up on the screen as well. I'm choking over here. But yeah, Vince, you got
my outro.
I know, dude. I'm fucking up, so I'm gonna kick it off to you and see if you have anything else that you want to say before we get out of here. If there's any last words.
I just appreciate it. I just want everybody who watches you and like who follows me, or if you don't follow me, like to know that I am 100% genuine with everything. And so when you hear from me, just know that like I really do enjoy what you guys are doing, and I love the inspiration other people provide, and keep doing what you're doing, and I appreciate all the love and support you guys have been sending my way. It's been inspiring, and I can't wait to do more. So I'm excited for Cosplay World to see a lot of you guys and do some more content. So yeah, dude, I'm pumped.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Once again, bro, I'm so glad we finally did this. Long time coming, like crazy, but I'm glad we did it now because we had so much more to talk about, and there's even more we could talk about in the future. So I welcome you back at some point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, Convincible Cosplay, and to everybody tuning in right now, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all of those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Projekt Podcast. When you go down, you hit that big red subscribe button. When you do, it goes, and you get 100 sexy Projekt points. Thank you for watching and watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening and watching on Spotify, as well, because videos are available on Spotify. When you rate and you follow, you do all those things you do on Spotify. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at IGHateChazzy. That is my personal, and everything else you need to find me at is on the Side Projekt Podcast Instagram via Side Projekt Podcast. And remember, that's Project with a K. Side Projekt merch available on sideprojektpodcast.com for me. Oh, this one's full. Let's put it in this hand. For me, for Vince, we are out of here.